What's up guys, this is Wenzes. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal development for INFJs and how to create an epic life on your terms. Today we're talking about why so many INFJs lack energy. And it has everything to do with the combination of introverted intuition and extroverted sensing, meaning our first and our fourth function. See, for a lot of other types, if they're going an unhealthy route, they might overextend themselves. They might put out too much energy and then burn out. For us, it's the other way around. We minimize what we do in the real world, so we stop creating new energy. It's like a battery of a car. If you're not using it in a way where it creates new energy by driving it, you just sit there and you let the radio or the light on, you're going to have less and less energy. And we're going to talk about how you can reverse that and have a life where you feel fully energized to do everything you ever wanted to. Before we get started, I want to remind you that coaching is back on the table. So if you want my help in creating your INFJ epic life, then work with me privately. All the information you find below. And if you book a discovery call before February, then you get access to the current prices. Very often I hear from my clients, from people from the bootcamp, as well as in the comment section, that there is a lack of energy, that there are so many things the INFJs want to do, but they cannot because they feel they can barely make it through the day. It feels hard just to get up, it feels hard to go to work, and some of you have real difficulty getting out of that. I know I did. I had huge difficulties with this because once you're in this spiral, you don't know how to get out. It feels like there is no other way out. And it has everything to do with the NITI loop. It has everything to do with NI and SE. Our approach to our functions has everything to do with how much energy we have. Let me tell you, I used to think that I'm just a person who doesn't have much energy, that I'm a person who just will chill on the couch, who can't do anything like that extreme. And I'm still not that type by nature. I'm not that type who would want to go on hikes and would want to go mountain biking and be active all the time. I'm not an ESTP, and I have ESTPs in my life, and I know how different it is. I know that there's this internal fire that makes them want to go out and experience things. For us, it's the contemplation. For us, it's NI. That's the thing that gives us the most energy. Remember, we get re-energized by alone time. The more we are outside, the more we are around other people, that thing drains our energy. But that only works so far, and I think this is the reason why so many of us get into this place. And I can tell you from experience, not just in my life, but in the life of the clients that I work with, this isn't something that cannot be changed. I used to think I'm a person who doesn't have any energy, and now I know I can have all the energy that I want. I'm still not gonna be an ESTP or anything like that, but I have all the energy I want to create the things that are important to me, to create that life that I desire. They do exist. And I do that by deliberately choosing what I'm going to focus on. But in order to have even enough energy to do that, to do the important things, we have to look at the fact of why are we lacking energy? What is the cause of us being in a place where we feel we can barely get up? And if you look at it from a superficial point of view and you know, okay, INFJs are introverts, we get most of our energy when we're by ourselves, you might think, okay, so I'm just going to detach from reality. I'm just going to be with myself. I'm going to try to be not surrounded by people who will drain my energy, and that will help me. But it won't. It might help you not to get additionally drained, but still, you need energy in your life. If you're not creating energy, it's not going to come from anywhere. You cannot say, okay, my energy comes solely from eating and sleeping. That just isn't the case, because even if you have no connections whatsoever, the way you've built up your life, it takes energy out of you. That's just a fact. So even if you're surrounded only by 4 people, that might drain your energy. If you don't have people who give you energy, if you don't have circumstances that give you energy, you will only have a small amount of energy left. And that energy might be so small that all you can do is get up, really push yourself to go to work, and when you come home, you know there's no energy left for anything. No energy to experience something, no energy to create something new and amazing in your life. And the worst part about it is you don't know how to change it. So many of us just accept the fact and then suffer. And you know, that's actually one phase of depression, not to have enough energy to do your daily tasks. Then you see people not being able to tidy up. You see people not being able to take care of their bills. And sometimes from the outside, it seems like, why isn't that possible? But remember, there are always people who have less energy than you and people who have more energy than you. And when there are people who barely have enough energy to get out of bed and do the essentials, they're suffering from the exact same thing as a person who, yes, can go to work and pay their bill, but doesn't have enough energy to move on and do something amazing. So there is no judgment here. But we have to understand this is a flexible concept. And since it is a flexible concept, we have to be the ones who create more energy for ourselves. And it all starts with physical energy management. We have to be the ones who say, I'm going to engage more in SE, in extroverted sensing. I'm going to engage more in creating energy for myself so I can then focus my energy on the things that will make my life move forward. If you're in a dark hole, it is very hard to do that. But it's still possible as long as we make sure that we define what is important, what is the next big step for me, what's going to make me move on, and how am I going to gather the energy to do that? Because the steps that you have to take, the steps that you have to do in order to get out of that current slump, they will feel extremely hard. And every single one of you knows this who's been in that situation. The person who can barely make it by, who can barely get up, for them it's torture to say, write 10 applications a day, go and educate yourself, exercise 3 times a week. It isn't that easy. Because if you have little energy, how are you going to move up? How are you going to make it happen that you have enough energy to do all of those things? You start with small things that are doable, knowing very well that it's going to take energy out of you. And that is the trick. Our mind will tell us, I'm an introvert, I'm an INFJ, I barely have any energy, so I'm not going to extend my energy to do something out of the ordinary. I'm not going to extend energy to create something amazing when I can barely make it by. But that's exactly what we have to do. We have to understand that as long as we go that route of NI, of contemplation, you will fall into the NITI loop. You'll get to a point where you're not going to change your external environment, meaning you're not going to get in a situation that re-energizes you. And at the same time, you make your world smaller and smaller. And with that, you will have even less energy. You will say, oh, okay, I will not extend any energy. I will just work on survival mode. But the more you do that, the harder it's going to be to expand yourself. And that's where we want to go. We want to expand ourselves in a way that re-energizes us more than we actually spend. We want to be in an energy surplus. You've probably heard of this when it comes to calories, or for people who do fitness, you need to be in an energy surplus if you want to gain weight or gain muscle, whatever it is. But there we talk about the energy that is just physical energy. We as INFJs also have to look at the mental energy aspect, to have the desire to want to grow, to feel like things aren't hard. So I remember when I first started doing this, like this channel, I woke up on Sundays, I got ready, I recorded the videos. This wasn't more work than what I do now, but it was so hard for me. It took me so much mental energy to make that happen. Way more energy than getting up on Mondays, by the way, because that energy I have already planned in. That energy was the most important one because people were relying on me. This was the thing that's gonna get me money, you know? These were the things that were accepted in society. But to get up on a Sunday and to do something in order to improve my life in the long run that nobody's going to care about, nobody's gonna tell me, why aren't you doing this? And it's additional energy that I wasn't spending before. This was extremely hard. So if somebody tells you, just do it, you have all the energy in the world, you have all the time in the world, don't listen to that. It is hard work. You cannot expect for things to be easy, and you cannot expect for things to become easy unless you change something. So in order for us INFJs to have more mental energy, we have to create a new momentum. A momentum that re-energizes energizes you, that makes things smooth, and it happens on such an autopilot at some point that this isn't something that drains energy from you. It's something that gives you more than you ever put in. So when I first started doing those videos, it took energy out of me, but it was just until the momentum started, and then it became an automated process. Every single time I talk to you, it energizes me. I love sharing my message because I know that it is beneficial, that I get the feedback, that I connect with the world from my point of view. I'm not surviving in somebody else's world, in some world that was created for me. I create a world that helps me to become the person that I want to be. And that world that I create for myself, that is based on the things that make me feel good, that re-energize me. You want to be surrounded by people who give you positive feedback. You want to be surrounded by people that you can help. You want to be doing things every single day that make you feel like you're stepping into your vocation and not something that is sucking the soul out of you. But when we first start this journey, we're going to be in that place. We're going to be in a place where things aren't as optimal as they could be. So from that point on, you have to extend energy. You have to step into your SE first before things can turn around. Contemplation will not save you. And I learned this the hard way. We want to contemplate. We want to understand things deeper. We want to find a way to heal ourselves. But there's just so much we can do. We have to step into SE, and specifically us as INFJs who value extroverted sensing. It is our fourth function. It isn't that strong, but it's still something we want. And very often we take the shortcut and just surround ourselves with people who have all that energy. So we live vicariously through them, but if you do that, you're never going to be able to create a world that re-energizes you on autopilot, and you have more energy at the end of the day than when you started the day. Don't get me wrong, of course, at the end of the day, I want to sleep. It took energy out of me, but my mental energy is at another level. My mental energy today is so many levels above the mental energy I had a year ago, 2 years ago, and the list goes on and on. Just watch my videos. Watch a video from 2019, 18, 16. You'll see such a huge increase because I altered my life. I put the energy that I did have, the small energy that I started with, I put that deliberately towards something that'll help me create a life that makes it easier for me to grow even more. Now, I don't have that job that was draining so much of my energy. I'm focusing all my energy on my family and on this channel. I'm not surrounding myself with people who gave me the feedback that I wasn't good enough. I'm spending my time with people who make me feel like I'm doing the right thing, who are helping me to become the person I want to be. I say this is the way, and the people around me help me to stick to that. It's not that other people define you. It's not about if other people like you or not. It's about you saying this is the course I'm going, and I'm going to surround myself with people who help me stay on that course. And I can tell you one thing. Every single time your mental energy reaches a new high, you'll be able to understand that much better what the next step is that's going to make you happy. You understand that much more what kind of people make you successful in a way that you see fit. Every single time you reach that new level, you are not dependent on people who have drained your energy before because there was some kind of payoff. So with every single step, you have things you can let go of. You can have people you can let go of. You can have tasks that you can let go of. You free up that much more energy that you can then put back into those things that will create even more for yourself. So make sure that you, on the one hand, give yourself the best chance possible to get to the next level. Meaning you work on your sleep. You make sure you eat things that give you energy. You don't drink too much in a way that really drains all the energy that you had left, and you spend it on things that are just a distraction instead of doing something that'll make you grow. You meditate, you set goals, you use the energy that you do have to set those things into motion, and then you execute them. Then you step into SE. You do and spend time with the people who will make you feel better. Nowadays with COVID, of course, it's a little different, but you can still decide, who am I going to talk on the phone with? Who am I going to cut out? It's on you to spend that energy on the things that will make your life move forward. So what will help you with your vocation? What will help you with your wealth management? What things do you want to achieve that will make you happier? It might seem like such a small step. It might seem like it's just going to improve your life a little bit. It's not gonna get you out of this funk, but trust me, it will. Of course, not with the first step, but with the first step, you'll have enough energy to do the second. And before you know it, this momentum has started that makes you feel so much more alive, that gets you excited about the next step, and that never will make you feel again like you're a person with low energy. You're a person who can have low energy, but you're not a person with low energy. You're an INFJ who has a lot of energy because you made it a point to have that energy. You're not lying to yourself, you're not pretending you have all that energy in the world, but you actually do. You have all the energy to do the things that are important to you. You might not be an ESTP ever, you might not ever want to work out every single day, but that's okay, that's not what we want. What we want is to feel like we're tapping into this pool of our energy that keeps re-energizing itself. It is possible also for us INFJs. You got this. And remember, if you want my help in making that shift happen, then work with me privately. You find all the information below, and if you book before February, you get access to the current prices. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch my last video on the INFJ and ITI loop. Like always, guys, I wish you a wonderful day, a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.